From the crowded streets of Trier to the bustling industrial heartlands of London, Karl Marx's journey was one of relentless questioning, passionate writing, and uncompromising activism. His ideas would lay the groundwork for a movement that would shake the foundations of societies worldwide. But who was the man behind the ideology we know as Marxism? Today, we delve into the life, struggles, and vision of Karl Marx, a thinker whose ideas remain as provocative as ever. Karl Marx was born on May 5, 1818, in Trier, in what was then Prussia. His father, Heinrich, was a lawyer and a man of the Enlightenment who valued reason and secularism. This intellectual environment shaped the young Marx, even as his family adapted to the pressures of their Jewish heritage in a predominantly Christian society. Early on, Marx exhibited a sharp mind and a rebellious spirit, traits that would define his future work. While attending the University of Bonn and later Berlin, Marx immersed himself in philosophy, particularly the works of Georg Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel. Hegel's dialectics, with its emphasis on contradiction and change, would profoundly influence Marx, though he would later break away from Hegel's abstract idealism to develop a materialist view of history. Paris, the heart of revolutionary thought in the 1840s, became a turning point for Marx. It was here he met Friedrich Engels, his lifelong collaborator and friend. Engels, the son of a wealthy industrialist, had first-hand experience of the exploitation faced by workers in industrial England. Their shared passion for social justice forged a partnership that would endure for decades. In Paris, Marx also encountered the writings of French socialists and political economists. These thinkers, along with his growing critique of Hegelian philosophy, spurred Marx to synthesize a new framework, one that analyzed society through the lens of class struggle and economic systems. Marx and Engels' collaboration soon bore fruit in the form of the German ideology. In this work, they introduced the concept of historical materialism, the idea that the material conditions of society, particularly the means of production, shape its structure and development. This marked a radical departure from speculative philosophy. For Marx, history was not driven by abstract ideas, but by concrete economic realities. He argued that societal change emerged from conflicts between classes, those who controlled the means of production and those who labored within them. In 1848, amid a wave of revolutions sweeping Europe, Marx and Engels published the Communist Manifesto. Its famous opening line, "A spectre is haunting Europe, the spectre of communism," set the tone for a bold call to action. The manifesto outlined their vision of history as a series of class struggles, culminating in the inevitable overthrow of capitalism by the proletariat. It called for the workers of the world to unite and take control of the means of production, envisioning a future without exploitation or class divisions. Following the failed revolutions of 1848, Marx faced increasing political persecution. Eventually, he settled in London, where he lived in poverty with his wife Jenny and their children. Despite these hardships, Marx's resolve never wavered. In London, Marx immersed himself in research at the British Museum. This was the period in which he developed his magnum opus, Das Kapital. He meticulously analyzed the capitalist system, exposing its contradictions and the exploitation at its core. Yet even as he dissected capitalism, Marx acknowledged its revolutionary role in advancing human productivity and globalizing the economy. In Das Kapital, Marx introduced the concept of surplus value, which he argued was the source of capitalist profit. By paying workers less than the value of their labor, capitalists extracted surplus value, leading to the accumulation of wealth at one pole and misery at the other. Marx's analysis was not merely academic. He believed capitalism contained the seeds of its own destruction. The relentless drive for profit would lead to periodic crises, growing inequality, and ultimately the rise of a revolutionary working class. Marx was not just a theorist, he was an activist deeply involved in the workers' movement. In 1864, he became a founding member of the International Workingmen's Association, or the First International. Through speeches, letters and debates, Marx sought to unite workers across national boundaries, emphasizing that their struggles were interconnected. However, internal divisions within the movement, especially with anarchist factions led by figures like Mikhail Bakunin, highlighted the challenges of building solidarity in a fractured political landscape. In 1871, the Paris Commune offered Marx a glimpse of his vision in action. For a brief period, workers took control of the city, implementing radical social reforms. Although the Commune was brutally suppressed, Marx hailed it as an example of proletarian self-rule, describing it as the dictatorship of the proletariat. Yet, the experience also underscored the immense challenges facing revolutionary movements. Marx continued to refine his ideas, aware that the road to communism would be long and fraught with setbacks. Throughout his life, Marx faced immense personal hardships. His family endured poverty, illness, and the loss of several children. Jenny, his wife and staunch supporter, remained by his side despite their shared struggles. Helene Demuth, the family's housekeeper, also played a significant role in their lives, though their relationship would later become the subject of controversy. In his final years, Marx's health deteriorated. He continued writing, but his work remained unfinished at the time of his death, on March 14, 1883. At his funeral, Engels eulogized him as the greatest living thinker and predicted that his name and work would endure. Karl Marx's ideas were forged in the crucible of struggle, both personal and political. He was a man of contradictions, deeply analytical yet passionately committed to change, uncompromising in his critiques, but open to the complexities of history. Marx's vision of a classless society may remain unfulfilled, but his insights into the dynamics of capitalism, the nature of power, and the potential for human emancipation continue to inspire and challenge thinkers around the world. Ultimately, Marx was not merely a prophet of revolution, but a relentless seeker of truth, a man who dared to imagine a world beyond exploitation and alienation. This is the story of Karl Marx, the man behind Marxism.